This area is defined by the white walls and the simple gable and shutter design of local fishermen's cottages, which Pedro and Renée de Sambento have stylishly updated.
Renée.
Nico, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Wow, this is like stepping into paradise.
This is our little piece of paradise.
Well, the West Coast is obviously incredibly beautiful and very secluded. Is that why you chose to make your home here?
Well, growing up with my mom and my dad and my 3 sisters, we used to come up the West Coast all the time. So I've got these incredibly fond memories of my childhood. And then Pedro and I decided a couple of years ago we would really like to have a place off the West Coast. And we used to drive up and down over the weekends. And the one particular day, we took a wrong turn and we ended up here. And there was this one for sale sign on the beach in this incredibly secluded, quiet little place. And I remember phoning the number up on a Sunday and saying, is this plot still for sale? How much is it? And could we please make an offer? And we actually made an offer. It was signed, sealed on the same day.
You found it by mistake?
Purely by mistake. We just took a wrong turn and ended up in this gorgeous location.
A very good mistake. I see you've gone for that open space feel.
Yes, because we entertain so much and we always have people in and out of our homes for dinners and lunches. We'd like to have something that has a great flow from inside to outside. So that was the main idea.
And the kitchen as well.
I kind of like the whole sense of community around the kitchen, and everyone's busy chopping and working, and often we just end up sitting and eating there.
The dining room table is made from Namibian oak that sat in a warehouse for 80 years before the Sambentos spotted it. The papyrus and stone interior garden feature feels like a riverbed running through the house and adds to the idea that most of this timber arrived by floating downriver or coming in on the tide.
Well, you've incorporated a lot of wood into the house, and some of it looks like driftwood, am I right?
Yes, I've got a bit of an obsession for driftwood. So my husband Pedro and I have been collecting pieces of wood and driftwood from Indonesia and Bali. We managed to find this amazing 100-year-old oak, which we had a local carpenter, Wimjohan, make all our beautiful pieces of furniture to size, to the space.
I do get an organic, down-to-earth feel, but it's also quite sophisticated at the same time.
It was difficult getting that fine balance between having something look quite chic and having it quite welcoming and warm. And because our kids are always climbing on furniture and there's always dogs somewhere, everything is quite washable and easy to maintain.
But now these chandeliers are decidedly unusual.
I have this absolute fascination with lighting, and I like custom-made lighting. So the chandelier above the dining room table was done by a friend of mine, Joe. All the light fittings in the bedrooms are made by African queens, who are these big Xhosa ladies, and they sit and they make things out of shells and leather.
From above, the lights float like fantastic sea creatures. And from below, solar-powered underfloor heating keeps things toasty.
Oh, come on, this is lovely. And here's another African queen masterpiece.
Yes, this one is actually made out of white leather, but it looks like shells, and I think that's what attracted me to it. Interestingly enough, I actually used this for my baby when she was crying. I used to spin it around, and it was like a mobile, and it used to put her to sleep.
Practical as well.
Yes.
And once again, you've brought the wood into the bedroom.
Yes, I wanted to warm it up. I still want the white, but not too clinical. So I kind of did the picture frames and brought in some wood and some shells, and then again brought the nature in with my succulent plants.
All the bedrooms have ensuite bathrooms.
Yes, we kind of had to do that because on an average weekend there's maybe 20 people in this house, so you need as many bathrooms as you can get. And you'll see I've continued with the shells and the driftwood in all the bathrooms to keep that organic feel going.
Renée is a makeup artist in the fashion industry, and much of the art she's selected is by the photographers she works with. Her talent is clear in the interiors, which are as subtly shaded as the white sand, candle bush and seascape outside. This area is a haven for southern right whales and their calves who take refuge close to shore and put on a show no high-definition home cinema could ever hope to rival.
So my family really loves the outdoors, so we've created this wonderful space. It's kind of Ibiza-inspired, Mediterranean, and we do a lot of entertaining here, and the kids sit in the cocoons and the moms have little sundowners, but the best place for sundowners is just on the top of that terrace. We also watch the whales from there and the dolphins. It's truly spectacular.
I would imagine you had to take the weather into consideration when designing the house.
That was a huge factor when we were designing this house with the architect. We knew from spending so much time up the West Coast, it gets very windy, and also there's a lot of glare from the sun at sunset. So we've created this lovely Lapa area, and the thing is with the uprights, we were going to do blue gums and we thought, well, let's do something a little bit more special. And I managed to find these lovely myrtle trees after a 3-year search. I first saw them in a hotel in Ghana that I was doing a photo shoot at, and I thought they were the most beautiful, interesting looking pieces of art. So why not incorporate them and make this look a little bit more extra special? The other thing we did to sort of protect against the wind is we did different levels. So you'll see over there with the braai areas, we've dropped the level slightly and we've enclosed it a little bit more for that wind.
Deconstructing the overall design into a series of small cottages grouped together also offers protection from the wind.
I loved the look of these linen curtains, and they also protect you a little bit from the sun, and they just add that little extra romantic feel.
The boldest members of the family are 2-year-old Catalina and 5-year-old Sanchia, who love a dip in the icy Atlantic. Others prefer their chilled liquids in the form of Pedro and Renée's ever-ready fruit cocktails, which you can carry to the beach without spilling so much as a drop.
So Nico, this is my favorite spot, and this actual boardwalk is what sold the property to us in the first place. And we had this dream of imagining walking out of your house straight onto the beach, and now we have it.
A dream come true. I'll drink to that.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Just an hour and a half's drive up from Cape Town, and it feels a million miles away.